Lewis. Rock and roll.
Lewis.
Yeah.
Hey everybody.
Hey.
So, who has heard of Orgonite before?
Orgonite.
Me.
This is a very small piece that I've made myself. I'll explain what it's for another. Just write down what it's called so you have
Orgonite.
a
Crystal power.
or whatever. So this is in the realm of biohacking. So basically this scientist in the 1950s, his name was Wilhelm Reich, and he pioneered this concept that he could scientifically determine what all these cultures through history have called the chi energy, and like the higher energy, the meditative energy, the life force, whatever word you want to use for it. He theorized that because all the biomechanical forces in the world and the known universe really, it's simply electricity and magnetism, and it's magnetism holding the electrical fields together, and that's what powers it. So there's the bonding force and the active force. And when you compress those two forces together by using a piezo-reactive crystal, like you have piezoelectricity, or I think it might be piezoelectricity, don't quote me on either one of them. But anyway, that's the bioelectricity. It's much lower than like AC/DC or even just straight AC electricity. It's very subtle, but it's in everything. It's coming out of everything. It's in the air itself. So when you compress a piezoreactive crystal with a magnetic metal and a polymer, there's a constant force that's being exerted on both of those things together. And he just theorized because that would be how life forms. How we get these higher energies with the unity of those two energies. So it's a very simple compound, but he found incredible results very, very quickly. And over the course of time, he started to make bigger and bigger models, and we've got some of my own home-built stuff in my pockets here. I'll pull out in a minute. But basically, yeah, the fate of this guy, you can learn about that in a really fun way. Does anyone know the artist Kate Bush? I mean, that might be
Kate
a bit more
Bush.
familiar.
Yeah.
She's a British artist with her hand up in the back there. So Kate Bush did a song called Cloud Busting. And cloud busting is a technique he developed where he would build massive scale versions of this technology, and it would create weather patterns. And that was how he would prove it to people on the large scale. Because otherwise, someone's got to, take it on faith that it might work and then try it for themselves. And a lot of people are just turned off by these sorts of ideas, radical and ahead of their time, and all these sorts of things. Like
I'm getting a migraine. I think I need Orgonite. I'm getting a real migraine. I think
so anyway, I'll show you the large scale version since I'm probably going quickly here. But these are all don't freak out because the design concept it actually serves a practical purpose and it's really got nothing to do with
Two-gun Lewis.
it's going to make one
Is that illegal to carry around?
He's got a permit. He's got a permit.
You know what I mean? It's about as far away from a weapon. Look, I'll make a comparison for you. Have you ever been in a hospital and you've seen one of these injectors? It looks exactly like a gun. And you see someone walking around, you're like, well, why are you carrying that? It's just strange. It's obviously not a gun, but it looks like one, right? Well, this is that same sort of idea, and it's the same sort of feel. It has medical applications. These things around the hills, they're actually bracelets that are designed for arthritis. They're magnetic cotton bracelets. You get them in a pharmacy because when you expose the body to a magnetic field, it aligns your cellular structure. So the pain signal comes out when there's a damage in the cellular structure.
Don't shoot!
Point it right.
Point it at you.
That one's a lot more solid to build.
Don't point at you.
You've got to hold it a special way.
Oh, okay.
Get the safety on.
Don't pick it up if you do.
So,
Don't shoot.
sorry.
Calm down.
Put this back through here.
I'm just saying. I've got a boy I need to.
Wow.
Yeah, so anyway, I've noticed incredible benefits from this stuff. Like, I looked at, I've got like muscle conditions, and like RSI, which is a horrible condition. It's an internal muscle tear, and I was born with back problems, and yeah, so I've used a lot of these different things, like crystal healings that can do a lot for your energy field and your biofield, and this stuff is compressed volcanic ash, and they say that emits scalar waves, which raises your vibration. All these different things, but when you take it down to the core science of magnetism and electricity, it all becomes a lot more simple and it makes a lot of sense. So if you look into Orgonite, you'll find decorative pieces like this in stores all around Sydney now, in all the crystal stores, and just look into it, get a small piece for yourself. The big pieces are quite expensive, and if you look at the big ones that are used to create weather patterns, it's a big machine. But yeah, I guess the last thing I'll say about that is you can pretty much be sure that this stuff works because this guy was put in jail by the CIA. And that was because he went into the Navajo desert where they did the atomic testings, and he was transmuting the radiation left in the environment by creating weather systems and reactualizing the thing. Like, he theorized that there's orgon currents. He calls that orgon energy. So it flows through around the world like the monsoon currents do. That sort of thing.
So what's the main benefit of Orgonite?
Well, it boosts your immune system, like the body processes, right? Every time we get sick, it's like the signal's not transferring properly because there's a blockage or a foreign body.
Immune system?
Yeah, it boosts your immune system and yeah, your repair rate and basically everything. You should find your thinking is clearer and the more that you look into those things like the function of the pineal gland and how it can be calcified and how meditation can balance out all these different things in your life. But yeah, it's just one way into that sort of whole realm of biohacking.
And it's available everywhere.
Yeah, it's now the most easily accessible one, and you can just carry it around like this. So really practical ones, little button ones you can stick onto your phone, and it will transmute that field. Because sorry, I'll just finish because yeah, I know I've been going a little quickly. With that same duality of electricity and magnetism, you also have positive ion fields and negative ion fields. Now, negative ion fields are biological fields. It's the radiation that comes out of everything, from trees, from the ground, from the sun. And positive ion fields are coming out of all the electronics. You've ever heard of this thing that like cell phone towers can give you cancer, and if you put your head in the microwave, you wouldn't have a good experience, right? It's a super dense cloud of positive ions that's cooking your food in the microwave. So basically, the Orgonite, with the way that I explained how it works, it pulls in those positive ions and then separates them. Because all you have to do is debond one ion. So yeah, they know that it's very simple to do that with a compound. Another one you can look into is graphene, because that takes the passive electricity from the air and transfers it into a sheet of plastic which is about a half a micron thick. So that's how simple it is to get what the natural energies are into a practical thing. This is just the way to do it through the body. So.
Wow.
Wow.